Well, in the most recent of nerfs to dungeons, King's Rest finally has gotten nerfed in some form or fashion. Um, and I guess the short of it is the fact that even with all of these nerfs, I still feel like KR is not going to be any easier or harder to complete the dungeon within the timer. I feel like the nerfs are warranted and they are all good, but I feel like it doesn't address an issue at large with King's Rest, and it's more of like it's an issue that can't really be addressed with hotfix tuning. Unfortunately, there's nothing really that they can do about it. It's just like the state of and the nature of how the dungeon functions as a whole. But these nerfs are still pretty good, and we're going to talk about them today. All right, so bosses, we got Barrel Through. That's from Aka Ali. It's from Council. Now it inflicts way less damage. So yeah, about an 8% nerf on that. Okay, I guess this is the exact same thing. I don't know the difference between the two of these. Oh, okay. So this is to the end target, and this one's to all the targets, all the players inside, like the charge line. Okay, so both of these warranted, like not that warranted, but I guess I understand. This one, Severing Axe. Okay, let me just try to put this in perspective. Severing Axe is actually one of the most overtuned abilities in the game by like, and it's not even close. And the fact that it only got a 6% nerf is so bad. Let me just try to explain. Just heal. So we're gonna go back to justhealus.com and we're gonna talk about this a little bit. So on Aka or on Kula, let's say on a 15 tyrannical, it is hitting you for 124,000 damage every 2 seconds. Not exactly the most fair thing, especially since it lasts for 20 seconds. Typically, you can get like one of these axes just because it lasts 20 seconds, and you can go like one defensive into like external. Like you can go Iron Bark into Barkskin for like a Moonkin player. If you get a second one, you just instantly die. And also the fact that it's like dodgeable, parryable, like riposte and like evasion and shit is so stupid, but it's so stupid in a completely different way. This is one of the most overtuned abilities in the game, and the fact that it's only getting 6% nerf is just baffling to me. It shows that there's kind of a disconnect in terms of like what is actually hard in the game and like why stuff is challenging. But this isn't like make or break for the dungeon, right? This has already been healed. This is healed on like 23s and 24, so it is doable. But it is not. The fact that it's only getting a 6% nerf is kind of comical in a way. All right, Bladestorm. Honestly, 15% nerf on Bladestorm. I understand. Like, it's starting to one-shot people with like a one tick instantly. Just from the damage. There's a lot of ways that you can play around it. Like if you get max melee range right before the Bladestorm is going to go off, then you can play around that, but that's not really feasible for a lot of players. It's kind of stupid. Deathly Chill. This is a good nerf. Honestly, this is a really good nerf for like uncoordinated groups. Like a bunch of these are just for like not super coordinated groups, like the Barrel Through, people who aren't soaking the Barrel Through. Okay, that's a lot of nerfing on that. Bladestorm, obviously, if you're gonna fucking take the Bladestorm, I guess that's a pretty good nerf. Deathly Chill for people who aren't coordinating as many kicks as they probably should for that. Frost Shock. This is a good nerf. Honestly, dude, this shit needed a 20% nerf. It's an invisible. It's not like it is an invisible cast that will instantly hit you and just chunk you down to like 50-25% health. And if you get hit like two of them back to back while you're not and you don't get like top, you can just instantly die. So this is actually a really good nerf. Frost Shock, I like that one. And in the most questionable nerf of 2019, we have Ground Crush. For those of you who don't know, Ground Crush is from the Brute. It is 100% avoidable. Yet, for some reason, it's getting a 26% nerf. I'm going to go and file that one under a way of the I don't know why that's getting nerfed category. That's so stupid. Honestly, this is 100% avoidable. Like, I don't know why they're even bothering with this, but anyhow. Gust Slash. So basically, Gust Slash is the tornadoes that are from, I think they're the Warriors, I think that cast the tornadoes. 20% nerf to duration. Honestly, good change. These tornadoes kind of suck, and you can get like an unreal amount of them. So this is a good change. Honestly, I'm pretty happy with this. Poison Barrage, 50% nerf to duration. Honestly, I'm okay with this. If you accidentally hit multiple people with the Poison Barrage and you don't have a bunch of poison dispels, especially for a non-coordinated group, I'm 100% okay with this. Severing Blade. So this is from the Berserker. This is the physical bleed from the Berserker, so it only got a 17% nerf. This is definitely needed. Definitely a thing that should have come. So I do understand this. Channel Lightning as well. I don't think it's that needed, but it's a welcome changes. Okay, and so that's like the point of this, is that these are all welcome changes, and these are like all fine and dandy and stuff. But let's actually just pull up KR and MDT real quick so I can show you guys the point of like the issue here. Is you're not able to actually merge any of these packs on the bridge together, right? So let's just think about like what all these packs entail. So they have Berserker, Hex Priest. This requires an insane amount of kicks because the Spectral Bolt is like a super overtuned ability. And if it actually is hitting your tank, then it's pretty bad. That coupled with the Berserker Dot. The Berserker Dot needed a nerf, so I'm pretty happy that it's getting one. This pack cannot be merged with this pack. This pack cannot be merged with another Witch Doctor. So the Witch Doctor does the Frost Shock, so you're liable to just like die, and then you get another Berserker. So you can't get that many bleeds on a tank or on any player, and then like have this many kicks that are required, or this many kicks that are required, then people getting randomly hit with Frost Shock, and then you're also going to get the Healing Tide Totem that you have to kill. So these packs cannot be merged, ever. Then the Brute is also patrolling through. So that's like a major issue as well. Beastmaster Double Raptor. Beastmaster Double Raptor could, I guess, feasibly be done with Hex Priest, Witch Doctor, Berserker in like a vacuum. But honestly, the core of the issue is that the Raptors are some of the hardest mobs in the dungeon, because the way they jump and do their hunting claw is so bad, but it's like hard to even describe why. Because like whenever they're leaping, you'll move away from them, but then they don't pick where they're facing until after they fully landed. So if you move too early, then you're in a bad spot and you're going to get hit by their claw. So it's like, it's an issue that's difficult to even like understand sometimes. But basically the core of the issue is that none of these trash packs on the bridge can actually be pulled any quicker, and none of the trash packs in the whole dungeon can actually be pulled any quicker. So the nerfs are good, but it's not going to make King's Rest any easier to time. Let's also talk about the elephant in the room. Where the fuck are Shadow of Zul nerfs? Where are they? Like, dude, this may be the most overtuned mob in the history of existence, and it's not getting nerfed. People literally have developed a strategy for jumping over an invisible wall to skip this man. Yet for some reason, his Shadow Barrage, which is the thing that gets cast on the tank, is not getting nerfed. This mob requires you to use all offensive and defensive cooldowns, and costs you, like, relative to skipping him and doing like a different trash pack instead, about a minute. Like a minute and a half to 2 minutes normally. I think this guy kills more high-end runs than anything else, and I have a likely suspicion that something in the very first part of King's Rest kills more runs for pugs. This dungeon is not going to be any more enjoyable after these changes. This dungeon is not going to be any easier to time after these changes, because basically it's already just as easy as it's going to be. Your tank is going to be taking slightly less damage, which is fair. Like, I get it, but it's not going to actually change the outcome of the key, I don't think, under most circumstances, because you can only pull the dungeon so quick. With the tubular dungeon, it also only has like 120% count max or something like that. There's only so many path deviations you can even make. Like, it's like 115% count. There's only so many path deviations you can even make, so there's not a ton you could even do. So it'll be Interesting to see how these end up affecting King's Rest overall. Maybe my opinion will change, but just looking at them on paper, these are good changes. Like I'm welcome to all these changes, and they should continue to hotfix, and not hotfix, but they should continue to try to change dungeons as often as possible, just because the fact that they're addressing issues is promising. And I hope that they just like we get better dungeons by the end of it, by the end of 8.3. So that'll be the end of the video today. I hope you guys all enjoyed. I hope you guys all have a great rest of your day. I'll see you later. Peace.